Welcome to
I thought y'all knew.
I am your host, Tyrone Bridges. Let's get it.
Never saw it coming. Yet he 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 never saw it coming.
Living in the light of my life.
There it goes again.
Hello,
Good afternoon, Patrick.
how's it going?
All righty, how are you?
Very good.
All righty, in our upper screen, we have Johnny Epps from the Michigan Works. And Johnny, you want to introduce the person on your left, please?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. This is Trina Burrell. She's our program supervisor for our adult and youth WIOA programs. So Trina has been here for years, like myself.
All right. I remember her.
Yeah.
All righty, how you doing, Trina?
Good. How are you?
All righty. We also have a Ypsilanti native business owner on our Zoom as well. Let's see if he could either unmute his audio or video. John? You there, John? Caroline be coming in a second.
Okay.
And Senator Jeff Irwin and two other people that were invited. Well, without holding us up too much, Patrick, why don't you introduce yourself to Mr. Epps and tell him what you do and what you guys have going on great in Detroit.
For sure. I don't know. We might have actually met at some point there. But I'm Patrick Beal from Detroit Training Center, and we do vocational ed. So we're doing truck driving, heavy equipment, masonry, and welding and blight removal programs right now. Certainly, it's never been better or easier to bring employers on. So it's kind of been great to see the wages right now go as high as they've ever been. And I know we're specifically looking at CDL, but also have a couple different opportunities. Among other things, we have some employers that are even going directly and helping to fund, but they're not doing a good job of funding the students who are walking in the door. They're funding maybe 10% of them and getting a lot of rejected applications. So definitely trying to see how we can put more people in those CDL positions. And a big difference right now is it used to be kind of a one-year thing. If you're getting your CDL, you're going to have to go around the country and travel. That is certainly not the case anymore. We're having a lot of success placing people in local jobs, home every weekend at the worst, but really much more actually just local positions. So whether that's delivery or between two factories in the state or whatever it might be, we're just seeing a pretty huge demand for trucking.
Yeah, Patrick, we met probably a couple years ago, because we do send few of our customers to Detroit Training Center for your training programs. We have used you guys for the CDL training. We have sent someone there for the blight removal, heavy equipment operators. So we already have that good working relationship with us sending individuals your way for training too.
Definitely.
Great. And the reason why, just to give you a little background, Johnny, on the reason why I even brought everybody together. This actually been started a couple years back myself. I've been trying to get people linked in to understand that the demand for truck CDL drivers is high. I did my research. So just to give you some information, according to the American Trucking Association, estimated about 61,000 truck drivers at the end of 2019. They were shorted. There was a short of CDL drivers. Also, according to a CNN story done on April 29th, 2021, the vice president, the executive vice president of the National Tank Truck Carrier Association, he said, we've been dealing with a driver shortage for a while. He said, but the pandemic took that issue and masterized it. So we are in grave high demand of CDL drivers. And this, I would say this idea came about because we have so much land in Washtenaw County that if utilized for, just one second, let me get Jeff in.
Yep.
We have so much land in Washtenaw County, and if utilized for a productive purpose, such as training, truck driving training, that would be a major plus for minorities. I'm unmute. I'm getting him to unmute himself. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Okay, that would be a plus, a great plus to. Hey Jeff, how you doing? This is Patrick Beal from the Detroit training. Also, you know Johnny Epps and also Trina, right? And John Weston, he is a minority business owner looking for truck drivers, CDL drivers. And we just basically delved into the conversation of the need for truck drivers, CDL drivers. Back to what I was saying, Washtenaw County do have a lot of land that could be utilized. Look at what we did with the over here, the Willow Run plant. And if you think about it, the program that Patrick has that's operating down in Detroit, if we were to have a satellite program to operate down here in Washtenaw County, we could touch major lives. Like I've been talking to Patrick also on the phone, that I have two current CDL, professional CDL drivers that are, welcome Caroline, CDL drivers that are actually prepared to help train or do whatever it takes to get us going. We just need a collective group to work on, hopefully trying to acquire us some space. I don't think that there's no major space do you need in any specific, any special space do you need, do you, Patrick, to make this happen?
Basically, I mean, parking lot. It's got to be a big parking lot, but that's basically it. And then obviously there's a small amount of the classroom training, although certainly for the last year we've been doing all the classroom training online. So in many respects, it's really just a parking lot that's well serviced by appropriate bathrooms. We try not to use porta potties if we can, and so that's basically what's needed to do more training on site.
And I'm pretty sure if we do potentially ever need any type of docking training for practicing on docking, then we could probably find a company that would allow us to use their docking access after hours to accommodate some of the training. This could actually be a good pilot program to try for 6 months and see if we can get some bodies in, and also possibly interested in the other programs that you guys got that could potentially come this way. because we don't have a lot of residents that have the transportation to get there. And it would be a golden thing, Johnny. You know, we was to get this here in Washtenaw County. I'm a CDL driver myself, and a lot of the kids that going through my program are very interested in trying to get their CDLs, whether they be a bus driver or a truck driver. I don't want to be too long-winded, but that's the logist of the whole program. I'm glad y'all had that communication. I'm definitely glad y'all had that communication.
Yeah, I always said, I've been here over 11 years, and, individuals that's interested in getting their CDLs, they have to go to Detroit or Romulus or places outside of Washtenaw County to get this experience. And I always thought, man, if we can have something local, like you said, Tyrone, it would touch a lot of lives, because those individuals can get places in Washtenaw County easier than it was to get to Romulus or Detroit or, things like that too. So,
Right.
Since Detroit Training Center is on this call, it would be great if they could do a satellite campus here in Washtenaw County. That would be great. I know they've been talks within other training providers to try to get, CDL training, here in Washtenaw County. I know WCC, has been in talks to get in their truck driving training back up and running. But like you said, it will be great if we had something local that individuals won't have to worry about making it to Detroit every day or making it to Romulus every day, because like you said, that key piece is that transportation piece,
Right.
But if we can have something local and people can catch the bus to get to that training, or catch a ride, or sometimes even walk. It's about to be summer and the weather is changing. That would be great. Like you said, we have a few different training providers we work with. We can't really specifically say, go to this one or go to that one, but we can recommend, individuals to certain training providers that has a good track record with us. And Detroit Training Center has had a good track record with us. And these training providers can provide that job opportunity also at the end of the training. Because as we know now, like you said, CDL drivers is in high demand. And it used to be you get your CDL and you got to go over the road. You got to go all over the United States. And some people's not built for that. But now you got local routes, you got state routes that you can start at 8 in the morning and you're back home by 5 or 6 that evening. Or you got national routes from Detroit to Kentucky, or Chicago, you're back or going plant to plant. So I think the possibilities and the connections are there. And people know we get about maybe 2 or 3 people a week that come through our doors looking for CDL training. And, we tell them, hey, we work with these providers. These providers we work with has been the best we work with because, one, they're getting that top-notch training. Because, I deal with some training providers, they just want to get our money and the students don't pass and they're coming back frustrated. We want to give them to the providers they're going to pass that training, and then they have that P endorsement for air brakes. They have different endorsements that they need to get these employment opportunities. Because right now we have employers technically knocking down our doors looking for drivers, whether it be truck drivers, whether it be transportation drivers, school bus drivers. We know the need is out there. But if we can have something local or closer to us, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll, because as Trina would tell you, we're enrolling individuals, they're getting their CDLs. We just had a person we paid for their training, and a couple of days after their training, they got picked up making good money.
Very good.
With no experience. I'm talking like $20 an hour with no experience.
Very good.
The more experience you have, the better wages you make. And Tyrone, you drive too. The more you drive, the more money you can make.
Yes, sir.
And so if you're a single individual, whether you be male or females, as you see now, we have a lot of the female population that's driving trucks now.
Right.
So it depends how much you want to drive is how much you want to make. And I think companies is noticing that need out there, because long are the days when you had more people looking for jobs than the jobs. It's vice versa now. It's more openings than you have for drivers. And so you want to get that top person to come work for your organization, you got to pay that, top starting wage also.
Right. So now we identified that it can be a workable program. We just need to pull in proper allies. Senator Irwin and Commissioner Sanders, if you guys could actually come in and maybe speak a little bit about potentially we could work with maybe Washtenaw Community College, or even somebody that has some space that we can actually utilize, or even pitch a proposal to them for something like this. This would be an advantageous thing for our county residents. And we have the most beautiful bus line, not to say that it's better than anybody else, but I think we have top-notch bus services that can get them where they need to get.
Well, I'm not often at a loss for words. I'm not really sure I can think of a place now. So I can always think of parking lots, but then you added in a common decency requirement, which is a restroom. So that's the thing that I'm not sure if it throws.
Well, we can bring
throws
a trailer restroom instead of just the regular porta potty too. So that
okay. So I was
it's
gonna
way
say,
better.
if you mean the deluxe ones that have like air and actual running water and yeah.
With the 6-week program, if someone's doing it for a day or two, porta potties are good. If you're showing up the same place every day for 6 weeks,
Right.
just a little bit better to have a nice facility.
Well, the only place that I think, so Eastern does not control, and I'm not trying to speak on behalf of Eastern, and you hear my grandson in the background here, but
lovely sound.
Eastern doesn't control their parking anymore, except for the convocation center. That area is still sort of controlled by Eastern, in the sense that people can park there without being charged. But if we charge, then that money goes to the outsourced company. What's most common to me though is YCS. I mean, I drive past, I never say it right. It's the Shackelford Field.
Shatford Field.
Shatford Field. I drive past there all the time, and I always see, the trucks. But Tyrone was explaining that that's after the fact, sort of. That's like the testing piece.
Yeah, that's road test. Yep.
Right. But I mean, I don't know that. So nobody throw me under the bus for this. So YCS. I don't know what else they're using the parking lot for, though.
Yeah.
So I guess the other thing is, are there any school properties that YCS is not currently operating that have sort of free open parking space? We've got a couple of schools that are closed, right?
Right.
That they're not utilizing. So I'm wondering if they would be open to that, or Willow Run kind of comes to mind.
Yeah.
They're not using that space out where the relatively new middle school is, and the high school.
Would it be a conflict of interest? Well, it don't sound like it should be. If the training school could actually utilize, if allowed, utilize a part of Washtenaw Community Colleges, if proposed to them, because they already have a program they're trying to get back up and running, but maybe a pilot opportunity would be a great thing. For partnerships is always lovely.
Right.
And if we pitch partnership, I think that honestly, a short-term partnership just to see how it works, I don't think nobody gonna lose any sleep over it.
I don't think it would be, I think that you should approach that. But I'll say this. They just closed their childcare center because they want to use that space to expand their academic offerings, especially now that community college is quote unquote free or last dollar. And so I possibly see them being a little less free with that.
Mhm.
The other thing is that the parking lot that I'm most familiar with that their vocational
Mhm.
programs utilize, they look like they're always on and popping. It just doesn't look like it's a whole lot of
Space.
maneuverable space out there.
Right.
I can't think of any other space there.
Maybe I ought to give the road commission a call and see
Now that might not be a bad idea.
see if they have any vacant land that they could cough up.
Yeah.
I mean, because this would be
that is,
this
part of
would
what
be
we do.
magical. This would be magical for a lot of people. I mean, my father rolled over in his grave and smiled because he drove for Jack Cooper. He hauled cars for Jack Cooper. He used to haul gasoline and everything. So my whole family is truck drivers.
You know, a space I'm thinking about too that has that loading dock, the old Bozo plant off Huron by this McDonald's up here.
The what now?
The Bozo plant, you know, right here on Huron Street. I know
Right,
that-
right there, right there across the street from y'all.
Yeah, pretty much. No, up Huron a little bit more. Once you pass McDonald's, James Parkway.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
More, right, you know, that Bozo plant, they have a loading dock. You know, it's a nice little drive down there. So I'm thinking if you can get in touch who owns that plant, to use that to do road tests, you know, and backing up to the loading docks and things like that too. And then you got easy access to get on 94 to do some training on the highway. And then you still got access to drive up Huron to go to Michigan Ave. My way of thinking is, man, you can have all your bases covered. And Patrick, I don't know what all entails with that road test, but you're driving in a neighborhood basically. Then you driving on the highway, make that big loop and come right back to that area. So, Turn, I think that's something, you know, we can look at too, who owns that land, the old Bozo.
I'm gonna actually go over there after the meeting. I'm gonna actually investigate that right away.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Definitely.
Just a minute.
Yeah,
Definitely.
the only part I could add to that would be the old Ford Visteon plant. I
Right.
don't know how much space you need exactly, but what about that Galt Village parking lot?
Oh, I like Galt Village.
Yeah, there's
I love Galt Village.
Right. You only got a couple stores over there, and that parking lot, it may not be smooth, but it's open.
Well, I tell you what. I
So
tell you
that's
what,
fun.
it definitely helped them with their road repair because they're gonna have to repair all that.
Right. So that's two locations right here in Ipsy that
Excellent.
has the space, and that will be beneficial to help, you know, with that training.
For sure. No,
Right.
we're definitely.
Well, until they figure out what they want to do with Galt Village, I think that's a good ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, can I pitch a proposal? Could somebody do the action that way while I go and check the Volvo building? And what we could do is we could actually reconvene me and Pat and talk about if this or that site would be a feasible place. And I'll talk to the owners and see if we can make something happen by them even allowing us to use that. I don't know about tax write-off, but make them look good, pitching back into the community, utilizing their space, make other people in the community grow. So I'm pitching it like that. I ain't trying to pitch you gonna pay me to use your lot. All hands on deck. We need to get some people driving.
And there's definitely, I mean, there's definitely some budget there. So, you know, as long as we're all able to overlap, you know, some people coming from Michigan Works and some of our other existing customers, that, you know, that's not, it's not outside the realm of possibility. You got to keep in mind, in Detroit, I got to pay this drainage fee. I don't know if you know anything about the drainage fee. It's about $750 a liter just for the water bill.
Wow.
So there's certainly some budget in there to make things work. It's obviously not the most productive use of space of all time. So it can't be the highest price. I can't outbid the fireworks store that sets up in the parking lot, but certainly better than keeping it empty. So
Well, I'm not trying to be funny. If you can get a new destination to make your program roll real good and utilize Washtenaw County as a satellite area.
Well, I got a question. What about that corner of Briarwood where Sears was? I mean, it's closed over there, and they actually have bays, but it's closed. I mean, they're not using that whole corner.
Okay.
So I mean, that's just
actually
a
when
thought.
I took my when I was
Your driver's training,
training back in the day was over there, and then at I think in the middle of town. So yeah, we could definitely see. I
mean, I would imagine that they're I would imagine they're losing some tenants. I know, like the Bath and Body Works place is now in Arborland.
Yeah,
because it's cheaper to be in a smaller strip like that than it is at a large mall.
Also, the old Walmart building.
Now that might be perfect.
They actually losing a lot of money. That building empty.
Yeah.
That might be perfect because it's isolated. It's not isolated, but you know what I mean. There's no traffic like getting in the way. Mm-hmm. It's its own section,
and it's on a bus line.
Right, and it's near the highway.
The bus route is crucial for sure.
Right,
that's crucial.
And speaking of partnerships, if Detroit Training Center want to reach out to WCC, and I know talking to Anthony Williamson regularly, they want to bring some programming down here to the WCC at our Michigan Works location. I think if that partnership can work out, we can use their space to do the classroom training.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, Tyrone? I think that would be a good fit,
Definitely.
That might be the first person to reach out to, because we'd also just want to make sure, at the end of the day, this requires a pretty good amount of capacity, and there's only so much total funding between the different options. So if both of us were trying to do it at the same time, probably wouldn't work too well. But if we can do it for them,
exactly,
then they can stack some credentials, but also maybe do the Pell Grants, which we're never going to do. Then we could obviously we could be their provider if that.
Let me reach out to someone.
I was just about to say
at WCC.
I was definitely about
how he feels about that, and maybe Patrick and then Tyrone, maybe we can get on a meeting with the person at WCC. I'm thinking about Jose Reyes. I know Jose and I have been working closely with some other training opportunities, and I know they was mentioning probably bringing back CDO training. But if Detroit Training Center can be the training provider and partner with WCC, and then we can use the classroom space here at WCC, and they got 2 computer labs in a big classroom. I think that may be doable. So to get that up and running with that partnership, and then as folks are eligible for our programs, we can pay for the training. That won't be a problem.
So I have a question, because I came on after you guys started. Are we talking about asking for the use of space and we're not renting, or are we looking to pay some minimal something for the use of that land?
Well, I think Tyrone would love for me to set up, and the cheaper he can make it for me to set up, the more possible that is. But certainly we would expect to operate as a business. We're a C corporation ourselves. So we work on behalf of Michigan Works, and we can certainly, afford some budget for that. The cheaper it is, the easier it is to do and commit to long term, for sure. I
just asked that because the Walmart property is in Pittsfield Township, and so that's going. I don't know if I need to say anything more about that.
Oh, you don't have to say that.
That's why I mentioned Pittsfield.
But I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Walmart.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we definitely would have, some budget to make it work. And yeah, it's just the better and
Yeah.
cheaper, the easier it is to commit and build it up.
Them
So
food vendors will love it. Them food
Right.
vendors that's over there now, the new food vendors. Yeah, the Chicken Shack
yeah,
and Blake. Oh, they'll love that.
yeah. There's a Coney Island right next to where we're at in Detroit. And you better believe at lunchtime they're
Oh,
very
yeah.
happy to have our students coming out. So
Right,
Um,
right.
definitely that could work out. So I think that's a great place to start. Feel free to connect me. I'll make sure I send out my contact info to everybody. And yeah, definitely if there's particular people I should reach out to, let me know. And otherwise, if I think WC3, or Wayne County or Washington County Community College would be the best one, because it's a combination of Michigan Works funding and Pell Grant funding as two options for individuals. I think that could be better. And we don't offer the Pell Grant, nor will we ever as DTC. So there's just some good opportunities there for different people who might not otherwise qualify for Michigan Works. And then on the other side of that, we also do have some private direct customers. They only hire in particular periods or, groups of people, maybe not people with backgrounds or other things that we're definitely open to. But for instance, we've got Universal, and then we also have concrete mixer truck companies that are paying directly as well. So once we're able to set up and do things, we'd be able to do things for multiple types of drivers. Uses the similar course, slightly different truck size, but basically exactly the same thing. So that could work out well. And then actually one of the testers there that you were talking about at YDC, that's actually our former director of truck driver training here at DTC. He graduated to being a tester now. So we'd love to work with them again and can get all of our testing done right there and, right nearby as well. And in Detroit, we have to drive out of the city to get our tests done now. So we're either going to Ipsy or we're going more frequently, we're going up north 30 minutes or so. So it'd be great to have it be just a couple minutes away. And then the coolest part, even when we started truck driver training, I did it more because of the construction side of trucking. And I was always more interested in that because frankly, the job offer from most big trucking companies was kind of not that great. And that has just changed. It's just so different right now. They're so in need. They're making better offers, both monetarily, but also lifestyle offers. So if there's a way we can connect those different groups, I could easily see it being very successful. We've got 7 semis now ourselves, and then 6 trainers. So opening up would just be a matter of appointing one of them to be in charge of the new location, and literally could be there in a matter of a few weeks, trying to make sure we got a good cohort to start it out.
And Patrick, I can get you my guy's information, right?
Yep, definitely.
You can work with him with the training certifications for him, because he's.
Oh yeah, and we're certainly in need of that here by ourselves, even if we didn't have a new location. So
yeah, and if we get it going here, honestly, at 52, man, I'm ready to train myself. I don't think I'm ready to be out there on the road, man. I'm telling you. Get one of them bad episodes, you out there all day and you expect to be back at a certain time, boy, your nerves work different.
Right? Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, we'd love to make the connection and see what's possible.
Yeah, Johnny, would definitely, if you can make that connection with Washington Community College and please report back to us if we get another meeting.
At this meeting, I'm about to call him right now.
All right. Well, I'm gonna be on my mission over there trying to find out that information of that company over there, and we can potentially get somebody to lean on somebody in the township, or we look at the Walmart site, right? We keep eye on the Walmart site then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's make it even easier.
Yeah.
We don't want to step on somebody else's toes either.
We need one of the dimensions can be kind of narrow, but one of them, it does need to be a full 300 feet. So basically, got 300 feet in one direction. That allows us to do the offset maneuver, which is the biggest one. And then of course, the bigger it is, the more trucks we can have there at one time. But as long as we got one dimension all the way to 300 feet of clear space, then that's basically what it takes.
Okay.
All right. So anybody else have anything to say? Any other input? I know this is a big thing that the Bureau of Labor Statistics, they're talking about people retiring at the age of 55 in trucking. So, you know, these newer people, we're trying to get them off in, the younger people, we're trying to get them off into it. They're working on the regulations right now. Hopefully they'll make improve the regulations on the ages, the lower the regulations. So the ages 18 to 20 can get in because they're like the underemployed when it comes down to driving.
Yeah, and so on that note, this same change that's caused it to be better for everybody, the 18 to 20-year-olds can't go across the state lines. But as long as the job is local, there is no rule against that.
Oh, so they changed it.
Yeah, that's my impression. You can get a CDL at 18, you just can't drive across state lines.
Okay.
So most companies, like historically, no company would hire you unless you were able to go across state lines because that's what you did first. But now that that's changed and now that there are more local positions, it does open the possibility of the 18-year-old. Now, I would not put an 18-year-old driving a school bus or even a city bus or some of these other things, but definitely some of the other positions, you know, why not?
Honestly, he'd probably drive a dump truck or something like that. He'd probably start off great with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. So yeah, it's a great possibility. Sound like a win-win for the county.
Definitely, we'd love to be involved.
Johnny had to go.
He did.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, tell him sorry we didn't get to say bye, but we're gonna go ahead and try to wrap up everything and make sure we got a little mission right now. Once when we find adequate site, me and Patrick are gonna talk a lot. I'm pretty sure. We'll stay in contact with everybody. Senator Jeff, thank you for coming. Commissioner Sanders, thank you for coming as well, and thank you for help plugging everybody in.
No problem.
And Trina, nice seeing you again. And tell Johnny we make this happen because you'll see some people being very productive in this truck driving field.
Yeah, and
Good to see you, Trina.
yes, you as well. And your little one.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Tyrone, for pushing on this.
All right, no problem. I'll talk with you guys later. Patrick, I'm gonna give you a call right quick.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.